and welcome everyone. It is my great pleasure to welcome you to this exciting webinar we have in store for you. I'd like to take a moment to acquaint ourselves with the essence of Sharplight Technologies, who we are, and what our mission is. At Sharplight Technologies, our vision is to lead the way in the metastatic industry by continuously pioneering innovative, non-invasive laser and light-based technologies. We aspire to be the driving force behind transformative solutions that enhance the quality of life for individuals across the globe. Our mission is clear. We design and supply cutting-edge systems to empower businesses in the Canadian metastatic and beauty industries. Through relentless innovation, dedication to excellence, and unwavering commitment to partner success, we aim to be the preferred partner in achieving remarkable outcomes for practitioners and their clients alike. Our purpose is deeply rooted in improving lives. We exist to empower partners with the tools and support they need to enhance the well-being and confidence of their clients. Sharplight is not just a manufacturer. We are a trusted ally dedicated to advancing the field of metastaetics and ensuring that our partners' businesses thrive in an ever-evolving industry. So today we embark on a journey of knowledge and exploration alongside our esteemed guest speaker, Tanya Chernova. With her expertise and experience, we will delve deeper into the exciting world of metastatic technologies and the transformative potential for your business. So without further ado, I, Monica, the clinical manager at Sharplight Technologies, want to pass the floor off to Tanya, who I've had the pleasure of being able to hear speak several times throughout my career, and she inspires me every single time. So I'm excited to pass the floor off to you, Tanya. Enjoy, and I'm here for everyone to answer any questions along the way. If you want to throw them in the Q&A chat box, I can help answer some of your questions. Thank you so much for being here today, Tanya. I will pass it off to you now.
Thank you so much, Monica. Everyone can hear me. I'm so excited to be here. Sharplight leaders, beauty and wellness leaders. We are so excited to elevate your treatment sales and really give you some strategies to thrive and monetize your business. Now, there are 3 aspects to success in any category of life. Doesn't matter whether it's looking after your health, looking after your wealth, looking after your business. The success formula always consists of 3 specific things. That is your mindset. Who are you being when you're implementing strategies? What is the mindset that you are seeing the world through? Number 2 is your skill set. What types of skills are you implementing? And we're so thrilled to have you here because you're going to upgrade your mindset and your skill set today. And the final one is systems. How are you automating this in your business so that it can be something that creates consistent and reliable revenue? So we're going to offer you 3 of those exact things in our success formula today. But I want to start with mindset because that's where everything begins. We know that the dearest Albert Einstein once said, the world that we've created is a product of our thinking. The world that we create, the world that you create, the world that you are living in right now, the reality that you are living in right now is a product of your thinking. It cannot be changed without changing your thinking. And that's something really important. So I'm going to ask all of us to take a deep breath in with me today. And really open our mind and open our heart to become more receptive to the new ideas that I'm going to present. Okay. And some of these things could be affirmation for some things that you're already doing well in your business. So congratulations when you're implementing what you see. And the key here is to really be able to elevate your mindset, to expand your capacity, and think about what you can implement in your business. And when you're listening to the things I'm sharing, think about not does this apply to me, but how does this apply to me and how can I use it in my business to succeed? So if the world is created, with our thinking and it can be changed with our thinking, I really want to share with you where your thoughts are coming from so you know which thoughts to listen to and which thoughts to renovate, to elevate. Right? So our thoughts actually come from 2 parts of our mind. We have our conscious mind, which is highlighted in purple over there, which is our prefrontal cortex. This is our logical, rational thinking mind. It's strategic, it's planning oriented, it's the adult mind that is focused in the present moment. It's very linear thinking when it's thinking, and it creates all of the things. It's the one that sets your goals. You're setting your financial goals with it, you're planning, you're directing, you're dictating. This is your conscious mind. But your conscious mind is only operating 1 to 5% of the day, which means that this is why we have the big mindfulness movement, because mindfulness helps us move into a place where we're being mindful and really critically thinking about what we're doing and the results that we're creating with what we're thinking and doing. So our prefrontal cortex is where we have our rational today thoughts. And our subconscious mind, the part of our mind that is automatic, that actually controls your autonomic requirements of the body. So your heartbeat, the way that you're breathing, all of the things, the way that you're walking, the fact that I can click something and speak at the same time is an automatic autopilot program. And what happens is that your subconscious mind is programmed over time, and it's inside your subconscious mind is where you have your long-term beliefs and all of your memories. And inside your prefrontal cortex, it is your conscious mind, which is the short-term memory and your very forward-focused thinking in terms of what creates the future. I'll just give you a really quick example. So if you are in your house and you need to leave and you're going to your clinic and you say to yourself, don't forget the paper, don't forget the paper. I have this really important paper. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. Don't forget it. And then you leave your house and you're driving and you're halfway there. You're like, oh my gosh, I can't believe it. I forgot the paper, right? Because your conscious mind is only engaged 1 to 5% of the time, and it's your short-term memory. Your subconscious mind, which is the one that got you out the door, is the one that's running on automatic pilot. So it's really important that we actually start to think, okay, I need to get out of my autopilot mind, which already has its own programmed beliefs about the past, which it tries to create my future with. So for example, if in the past I offered one of my clients or patients a treatment and they said no, they weren't ready, or no, it was too expensive, what my subconscious mind tries to do is generalize. So it creates it that it's not just no and no thank you for the time being. It's no and no thank you every time you see me for the rest of your life. So it often happens that your subconscious mind will actually help protect you from a future failure or from a future rejection by discouraging you, by literally communicating negative limiting thoughts in your mind by saying, so if I saw that client, for example, in January, and she's come back again in February or March, it'll be like the last time I offered her, my mind will recall the memory of what I did in the past and discourage me from offering her again, or make me believe in my heart that she'll say no. And therefore that makes me demotivated from asking her again. I hope this little synopsis kind of helped you understand a little bit about how that mind works and why we have a conflict between the two minds. So one of the ways that we move out of subconscious mind into conscious thinking, rational current mind is by taking a deep breath and vibrating our vagus nerve to release oxytocin and bring ourselves back into that mindful place. So why do we need to do that? Why can we not operate out of our subconscious mind, the one that stores all of our memories? Because when we're in a position to do something, our subconscious mind, I'll go back to that picture for just a second and I'll show you that the amygdala, the little place here that looks like it's got a little flame there, your amygdala is constantly on. It's 1,000,000 times faster than your conscious mind. And it's always looking for ways to protect us. It's always looking for something that might be scary or keeps us on alert. And the moment that it detects some sort of potential for failure, rejection, or it's in the unknown, you know, when you're facing the unknown, your mind tends to think of the worst case scenario, right? So essentially what happens is that your amygdala gets activated and communicates to your mind, don't go there, don't ask them, don't offer, don't raise your prices, don't. And it creates this limiting mindset that keeps us in a state of lack. The other thing the amygdala does is it actually detonates that sort of cortisol adrenaline, right? It communicates to our mind, get ready for fight or flight, or freeze or please, regardless of the fear response, fear creates the illusion, and I'm going to repeat the word illusion, of scarcity, because we believe, we know we live in a limitless world. We live in such abundance. Grass grows effortlessly. There is truly enough money out there for each and every one of us to thrive. The problem is that when you have a negative past experience, and it doesn't have to be even with one specific client, it could be at any point, even if you hear, for example, the fact that we're moving into a recession, which SharpLight has chosen not to participate along with Tanya Chernova, right? If that's even the case, or the inflation is taking up people's hard-earned money, we all of a sudden start making ideas in our mind about how that's going to limit our business. And so you're triggered by fear when you look around and you start saying things like, there's not enough. There's not enough time. There's not enough resources. There's not enough marketing. There's not enough money. There's not enough clients. There's not enough, you can keep going ad infinitum, because scarcity is a mindset. It is the lens through which we see all of life. It's a perception of reality. So think about scarcity or abundance as like eyeglasses, where you're literally looking through lenses that show you what the perception of reality looks like. And when you're looking through the lens of fear, it always appears that there is not enough. So how do we create results? How do we create the results we have? And how can we create new results in our life, in our business, in our world? How can we become powerful influencers? Well, I want to show you the cognitive behavioral model that psychologists use, and I call it the circle of influence, because this is how we create results in our life. And so if I ask you, what do you think comes first, an emotion or a thought? Often people think it's an emotion because I feel fear and then I do something and then something happens and then I think. But what we have to realize is actually the origin of how we create results. And this is conscious results, right? So if you want to create consciously new results in your business where you want to thrive and drive revenue, the very first place we have to start is looking at our thought process. What am I telling myself? What information am I putting into my mind? Am I listening to the news and am I listening to the negativity? If I'm thinking to myself that our packages are too expensive, our clients don't want to buy them or can't afford them in this economy, emotionally, it makes me feel demotivated, right? If you look at the word emotion, there's the word motion in it, because the way we feel literally dictates the direction of our actions. So the quality of our actions relies on the type of emotion we have. So if in your mind you think you're scared, for example, maybe this will be too expensive, then emotionally I feel hesitant when I take action and I make an offer with the energy of hesitation. That energy is contagious and my client picks up on that vibrationally, and the result is that she hesitates. Okay, so I know that seems very simplistic, and before you could possibly have made fabulous recommendations, passionate, amazing, and then they still say no. But it's really important that you understand for yourself that money goes where energy flows. And on an energetic basis, we are constantly attracting the exact results that we create. So if you want to change your results and say, actually, I want to thrive in this economy, I want my business to grow in this economy, I want my business to grow unconditionally, regardless of whatever the circumstances, the thought needs to be something like, even in a famine, my business will grow. And my emotions make me feel secure. And then when I take action confidently, and then I get confident results. Okay, so that just gives you kind of a bit of an idea as to how it works. And it's the same thing with your leadership team meetings. When you're speaking to your team, it's up to you to put in and plant the seeds that make them feel motivated and enthusiastic to take positive, confident action and get positive, confident results. And it's, again, the same way that you speak to your clients or patients, right? That gives you the same results that you're looking for. So we ask ourselves, what result do I want to create? What is the thought process that I need to think in order to get there? How will that make me feel? Make sure that you're checking in. If you're feeling like low-grade anxiety on a regular basis, or you're feeling like something's wrong deep down, ask yourself, what am I thinking? What am I telling myself? Take a moment to write it down. You will be surprised what negativity will start to come out of your mind, and you'll realize that potentially it's time to have a cleanse. So the very first step that I want to do, I want to invite you to take, the first step forward is to elevate your mindset and to move into a place of abundance. We know that we do that by saying gratitude, by being really grateful and blessed by all the things that we have that are working, but really just to understand that we live in an abundant world where everything is available to us. The question is, are we receptive and vibrationally in alignment with the results we want to achieve? Now, the other way that we actually elevate the mindset, and I want to do this from an evidence-based place for you. I don't want this just to be like a woo-woo kind of idea, even though it's metaphysically and psychologically and ontologically and philosophically proven, everything I just said. But I want you to know what also is amazing is that the Medi-Spa market is growing. I don't expect you to read this slide. I actually took this directly copy-paste from the article, but I want to show you what it says, okay? So it says that the global medical spa market was 12.2 billion in the year 2020. It's projected to reach 25.9 billion by 2026. So that's an annual 13.5% increase year over year. So I want you to understand that it was 12.2 billion in 2020, and this is the Medi-Spa market. This is not including all the beauty products, Shoppers Drug Mart, nothing like that. This is literally just the Medi-Spa market, the very services that we are doing here together with technology. So it is going to double by 2026. My question to you is, are you psychologically planning to double your business by 2026? Because this is what the projected growth is. And we want you to be a part of that evolution. So facial treatments are projected to grow and reach 13 billion by 2026. And body shaping and contouring grows by 15% for the next 7-year period. So these are global statistics that are so important for us to understand, because we have to know what's happening in our own industry, because we are a reflection of that industry and our numbers are a part of that growth. And the Medi-Spa market's also growing in the global hair removal segment. So for anyone who's still thinking that laser is saturated, not even close. In fact, US, Canada, Japan, China, and Europe are going to be driving the growth estimated for this segment. And it's really increasing by, it's going from 1.3 billion in 2020 to 3.8 billion by 2026. So you have room to literally double your business between now and 2026. The question is, how will you do it? And how will you become more receptive to that growth? Now, the other thing to note that this is statistics just in Canada, and this is the beauty market. So this is beauty and personal care, not including professional treatments. So these are treatments that this is actually comprising of everything you see in Sephora and Shoppers Drug Mart and all those different stores that are really related to mass market sales. So revenue in the Canadian market is US 8.23 billion in 2023 and rising. And I want you to see what actually happened. You'll notice that in 2020, which is this column right here, of course, the sales had dropped because we were indoors, no one was using makeup, etc. I don't have to tell you what happened during the pandemic. You can see that it's slowly rising. We are now in 2023 where things have been relatively restored. And in fact, we are higher than we were in pre-2020. And if you look at 2024, 25, 26, 27, 28, the numbers are only growing. So leaders, I really want you to take to heart that our business and our beauty industry, our Medi-Spa industry is only growing. We need to position ourselves to be accepting and receiving that level of income that is literally destined for us in our future. It's like somebody will tell you, you know what, your business is doubling within 3 years from now in 2026. How are you positioning yourselves to accommodate that growth and to literally be receptive of that evolution? Isn't that exciting? I'm so excited about that. The other thing I want to tell you in terms of good news is people buy based on their social values. That's the way that we make purchases, right? So when sustainability became something that was trending, people started to switch their buying dollars and point them into the direction of companies that they aligned with if sustainability was an issue for them. Well, self-care is trending. Now, even though that particular notion of self-care was introduced in the early 1950s, the term self-care has grown in popularity with over 54.1 million tags on Instagram alone, which is a relatively new platform. So it's been trending. It's been a trending term, especially during the lockdowns and in the isolation periods of Corona, right? So we know that self-care is a huge part of the nation's new vocabulary. What does self-care mean? Self-care actually means, and I'm going to tell you where I got this in a minute, and you're going to be so impressed. Self-care is a way that we prioritize our emotional, mental, and physical well-being. It's the way that we prioritize it. It means, how am I putting myself first in my life so that I can holistically take care of myself and make the decisions that are best for me on any given day? So self-care, of course, includes our industry because our skin is our largest organ of the body. Our largest organ of the body is the skin. And it's really important that we continue to be vigorous at educating our market as to how to take care of that organ and not to fall into the traps of, oh, I have a pimple, I'd rather look better. It's about recognizing that we have this incredibly important organ that is responsible for detoxification, excretion, temperature control, immune system impression and instead of suppression. We have Langerhans cells inside of our skin that are physically responsible for how we respond to the oncomings of a cough and cold, let alone the beauty and physical appearance of what we really wish for in our life. So since our skin is our largest organ, we definitely fall into that category of well-being, let alone if your spa actually does also massage and reflexology and all of the other things that are out there for self-care. So high self-care awareness is pivotal. When I used to work in our family clinic called Skin International in Winnipeg, that was in over 20 years in business. So many of you who may not know me just recognize that I came from a mother who was an incredible dermatologist out of Russia. And we opened up a skincare clinic and a series of them in Winnipeg. We had 6 clinics and a beauty school altogether between my family. And I grew up in these clinics ever since I was 12 and became Canada's youngest government licensed esthetician so that it wasn't just child labor. But we used to teach women all the time about how to prioritize themselves. I still think it's a conversation that is more than ever valuable today because women, even though they only make up a portion of your clientele, because you also welcome men and etc., the reality is that our females still have a hard time prioritizing themselves because we are stretched by trying to give and be and do for everyone else. We would always tell women who were pregnant, now listen, you're a regular client right now, but when you have that child, you're going to want to do everything and sacrifice yourself, including sleep, and you're going to stop coming to the clinic. But at the same time, that's when you're going to want to really fall in love with yourself and your feet and your hands and want to be touchable for your relationship and feel like you're always your best self. Otherwise, that self-esteem will start to plummet along with those changing hormones, and it's very easy to fall into postpartum depression. So this is definitely a part of our self-awareness for understanding how important self-care continues to be. We all know how good we feel after we do something for ourselves in the beauty and wellness category, and especially after a technology treatment where we see genuinely visible results in our skin. And they're calling high self-care awareness health literacy now, okay? And you know where I got this from? It actually comes from the government of Canada. Leaders, this entire website, selfcare.ca, and I encourage you to go and explore it, actually is created by the government of Canada that has also given us an opportunity to have health promotion days. So they have a calendar on the government website, and we can get these links, to you. You can just look them up in terms of self-care, Government of Canada. And it shows you that there's days, weeks, and months of the year that have been dedicated to self-care. In September alone, there are over 20 different days, and sometimes even a whole month is dedicated to specific awareness, because we're trying to drive more awareness. And the great thing is that there's already a self-care day programmed by Health Canada that you can put into your calendars and start thinking about how you are going to celebrate Self-Care Day in your clinic or spa on Monday, July 24th, 2023. So looking at how much the global industry is actually growing, along with the trending of high self-care awareness, this combination is super duper powerful for you to really think about, how do I want to make my mark? How do I want to continue to make self-care a priority conversation with my clientele? How do I want to continue to grow my business and be receptive so I can be receiving of so much of that money that is coming my way? And FYI, you can also submit a health promotion awareness event for your own organization. You could literally go in there and just put, World Wellness Week or World Wellness Month or Canadian Wellness, whatever. Or you can even put, I'm going to ask Sharplight because they didn't know that I was doing this type of research, but maybe we'll post something for Technology Day, right? So something where we have Medi-Spa services. So all of this to say is that in your mind, you have a current filter of perception, the way you choose to see the world. And I want you to know that every single thing you see, like potentially there's a new handpiece that's been advertised by Sharplight, right? It goes through your filter that generalizes, deletes, and distorts good news and tries to keep you basically safe from rejection, failure, and the unknown, and death too. But the way you look at it is that an external event goes through potentially a mindset that might be full of limitations. It creates an internal perception and then a state like positive or negative, which creates your response. So I don't want to get too technical on the brainy side of things, but I just want you to know, as very simple as this: we all have a dryer. If you have a hair salon in your business, you'll know that at the back of the dryer, it has the little filter thing too. We all know what happens if we do not clean the dryer lint trap. It becomes terrible air quality, lint gets all over our clothes, and eventually our dryer will break. I am encouraging you, step one, elevate your mindset by literally cleaning the filter of perception out of your lint trap, because every time life goes through, your mind captures failure, rejection, and all the different things that went wrong and tries to feed it back into you like it's the reality that you live today. Another analogy that I love is pulling the weeds from your garden. Simply by existing, our filter gets dirty. Simply by using the dryer, the filter gets dirty. Simply by existing, our flowers will also attract weeds. Simply by existing, our positive mindset automatically has weeds that crop up every once in a while. And it's up to us to make sure that we are pulling the weeds and staying very beautiful in our mindset. Our mindset has to be pristine because, once again, it's our thoughts that create our world. And your current life right now, your business, is a reflection of your beliefs. That's what it's a reflection of. So if you're looking at your balance sheet and it's not reflecting what you like, the first place that has to change is your mindset. And as we move forward, as I'm going to present to you certain things just now, or even after this webinar, especially after this webinar, the practice that I want you to use is one that I use myself all of the time. So just because I teach this material doesn't mean that every once in a while, because I try to keep a pristine environment, and you know how it is. Once you have a facial, for example, you bring to the skin to the highest level of hydration and balance, and from there it's even better. So once you actually do a big cleanup in your belief systems, which is what we're going to do today, like empty the trash basically, for the rest of time, every time a negative thought comes up, you delete and replace, delete and replace. So things like they can't afford it, it's too expensive, everyone's offering it, my competition has it cheaper, whatever that stuff that comes up is, it's a weed, it's in your lint trap, pull it out, delete. You have to say out loud, consciously, delete, and instantly replace it with something that is real. For example, and these are not like pie in the sky statements. This is exactly what I just shared with you. My industry is growing. People are taking better care of themselves. People want to look and feel their best. People want to look younger longer. Our Medispa revenue is growing every day. People love our treatments. We deliver amazing results. People love to buy our programs, right? It's really important, honestly, like this is the easiest and freest thing that you can do for yourself, which is click that delete button, replace, and put something that is going to move you in the direction of your dreams. That is of ultimate importance. So you have to elevate your vision in order for you to get that, right? One of the things that we talk a lot about is envisioning who you are becoming, because this is an evolutionary process, right? To flourish, to thrive, to grow. It's literally taking a rosebud and expanding all of its petals, just like you taking your clinic, taking your spa, and expanding it through all of its potential. So who are you becoming? You are becoming a leader in your field, a leader in your community, a leader amongst your clients. You are becoming the go-to leader for whatever services that you are advertising. So step 2 is to elevate your goals. Once your mindset has been elevated, the next most important thing is to turn your mindset into a goal. So if you want to be the leader in your industry, in your community, if you want to be the go-to person for fill in the blank, I'm going to encourage you right on this call, or especially afterwards, or with your SharpLight, partner, sit down and think of a SMART goal, a specific, measurable, ambitious. I know that usually A is for achievable, but I really want you to be ambitious since our industry is doubling in 3 years. You need to also be right on par with that, relevant, that it actually makes sense for your company, and timed. How long will you give yourself this time? So I'm going to give you another call to action to this at the end of our session today, but just SMART goals are step 2. Step 3 is about revamping your offers. Okay, so this is really, really important because obviously so there's 2 aspects to results. There's actually process and results. We know that this plus this plus this gets us this. And if we're not happy with how this is, we have to change the process, right? So we want to be able to wow your clients. We want to help you increase sales and stand out as a leader, like stand out amongst the crowd so that you don't seem like you're offering the same laser as somebody down the street that's operating from, a tiny little place with a laser that they got from wherever, right? SharpLight technology is the most extraordinary technology. It gives results. You're dealing with the #1 partner in your industry. It's phenomenal, right? So you have to stand out as a leader and really leverage what you've got. So the first thing I want you to do is think about one of the things I know we talk a lot about in this industry, and we had it too when I was growing up, is selling things in a series, in a package. So instead of just buying one, you can buy a package of 6 and you get a discount. Phenomenal. The only problem with this I find in today's day and age is that I don't want to buy a package. I want to buy a program. Okay. And I'm going to share with you linguistically, because if words create our reality, which they do, okay, a package, and this is from the dictionary, is a set of proposals or terms offered as a whole. So it's a set of proposals, so a bunch of different treatments offered as a whole. A program, leaders, is a planned, coordinated group of activities, procedures, etc., for a purpose. We are not selling packages. We are selling purpose-driven programs to get our clients and patients to a particular result. If you're with me, say yes. Please type yes if you're with me into the chat so Monica can see it. It's really important that I want you to get on board with this. And it's not to say that you have to stop using the word package, but I'm going to share with you just my own personal journey. Okay. This Saturday, just now, this was just now, so I went to an IV clinic that's just up the street from my house that I've been to a couple times here and there. And I travel a lot. I do a lot of speaking. I'm doing a lot of jet lag recovery, etc. So for me, and especially during the pandemic, I went there, or, when they were reopened, those moments, I went and I did a lot of super boosters. Okay. But when I went this time, because I'm now preparing for the new season, which is fall winter, I want to boost my immune system. I want to lose a little bit of some of that little fluff that I gained over the summer of barbecue and drinking season. I was talking to her about a few different goals. And she said to me, Tanya, you know what? Like, do you want to buy a package of these, boosters? And I said to her, I don't want to buy a package. I don't want the thing that does the same thing 10 times. I said to her, give me a program. I want a program that addresses my well-being, my energy, my immune system, my weight, my hair and nails. I want like more shine. I want more resilience. I want strength. Help me understand what I can have to put that together in a program. Like I prompted them. Well, I walked out of there with a 3-month program that was goal oriented. I showed her how to do it. And then I plugged all of the dates into my calendar before I left so that I know that every 2 weeks, leaders, so because I'm nearby there, I go once a month for the big boost, the big thing that you see there, that big bag for all my vitamins. Then 2 weeks after that, I go in for my oligo elements and all the different things that, can't be taken necessarily orally that I should be getting from better nutrition. I'm not going to change my eating habits overnight. So I'm going to take them in in an IV. And on a weekly basis, I'm coming in for Slim Boost to get my metabolism going and shed some of that extra layer. So I really learned, and I paid $2,000, right? I was expecting to go in there and pay for my, elixir. I had absolutely no intention of going in there, spending a huge amount of money. But because she convinced me that the program that I was on for 3 months, which is what it really takes for your full cell renewal to be able to capture all the goodness, very similar to our skin, I signed up. So I want you to just start thinking about transforming the idea of packages that are simply regroupments for a sale price to programs that are purpose-driven. I hope you love that. And if you love it, please write to Monica in the chat, love, love, love the idea of programs, signature programs. So when we talk about thinking, how can I make myself different from my competition? It's not about the fact that you offer laser. It's the fact that you offer laser alongside exfoliation treatments, alongside body wraps, or alongside something else. And I'll show you a few options in just a second. But the key here is to turn our reoccurring packages into signature programs. And I want to even challenge you and ask you, what would you pay more for? A package or a signature program tailored to you? I know you think the answer is signature programs. That is the general public consensus as well. So the second thing to do is within this transformation is always to leverage your assets. Now, what I loved was the last training that we had with SharpLight was all about photo aging. So I love the OmniMax 4. I think that's what it's called. It has facial tightening. It has fractional. It has the carbon facial. It has facial contouring. It has vascular lesion support and skin rejuvenation like RF and more. So the best thing to do if you want to create a signature program is to write out all of the different faculties that you have in your machine currently and think about, how can I put this not in a reoccurring package like 6RF, but how can I mix and match things so it looks like something is a lot more robust and is really taking the skin at every single angle of its capability. So one of the things that they talked about was actually this, this very thing, which is increasing revenue by taking all those capabilities and allowing for exfoliate post-summer, or just exfoliating in general, using your carbon peel for that, doing spot treatments on pigmentations, spot treatments on broken capillaries with your vascular wand, doing a photofacial, so pigmentation and texture for fine lines and wrinkles. Oh, good. You can type your responses to me. Sorry, that's great. I can see in the chat. Guys, that's awesome. Okay. And boosting collagen and elastin through RF and different types of programs, right? So thinking to yourself, instead of selling 6 of each, right? Think to yourself, if I'm going to have a client or a patient over the next 3 months, and I really challenge you to sell these programs in 3, 6, and 12-month increments. 3, 6, and 12-month increments. It's almost like the next thing that I want to even recommend to you is like memberships, right? But for now, without having like all the proper pricing and breaking everything down for you, I don't want to necessarily suggest it, as much as I want you to try something new that's very doable, which is try changing a package into a sequential program. And then, with your assessment that you're doing with your client or patient, look at all the different needs they have and figure out how you can do something that's really unique to them and get them signed up for a 3, 6, or 12-month program, making sure that you really book those dates into their calendar before they leave. Now, you're not going to necessarily get 100% people on board for that, like meaning they know their calendars. Some people have shift work, etc. But I will say this. I always say to them, I'd rather you put it in now, because this way, at least you have placed yourself at the center of your life. And then your life will start to fill in the blanks around it. You have to prioritize self-care, right? You can even let them know, even Health Canada is talking about prioritizing self-care. So it's important to put self-care at the center of our life and then plan and program everything around it. The other aspect of being able to increase and elevate your revenue is to show and tell. One of the words that I loved from that particular seminar on September 6th was the word neocollagenesis. Neocollagenesis. So we all know what that is. That's the production of new collagen, right? But actually using that as a part of your vocabulary already puts you, thank you so much. Awesome. So already putting like neocollagenesis is such an important aspect, because instead of just saying it's going to produce more collagen, you can say at our clinic, we have a focus on neocollagenesis, and it goes through 3 phases, which is why we do a 3-month program. Okay. So showing and telling the actual skin diagrams is so important. Having skin diagrams, especially if you have clinical, technicians that English is not their first language, it's perfect because it really does help our viewer look at how the skin works and that it's more than skin deep for us. And it elevates your ability to just put yourself in a more professional point of view. So in the show and tell, we want to show not only the cross section of the skin, but what's going to happen over this 3-month process and why it's so important for them to be consistent. The other thing to do is to make sure to use high resolution before and afters. Actually, this one's even blown out on my screen, but it's important for you to just consider. It's like, I know there's a lot of before and afters, which is great, but like really having high quality before and afters to show people the types of results that they can expect at the 1-month mark, at the 3-month mark, at the 6-month mark, wherever you feel it's applicable. And of course, results may vary for people, but the reason why I feel show and tell is such a valuable part of your business proposition is because the subconscious mind, which is your automatic pilot, right? Your autopilot, it only thinks in symbols and pictures. Symbols and pictures. That's how your subconscious mind works. So even though you're telling me about neocollagenesis and my conscious mind says, wow, that's awesome, I love that, I'm only operating 1 to 5%. If you show and tell me at the same time, my subconscious mind will pick it up, and that's where I'm going to be, a faster yes. The other thing that I really recommend, and this is like a diagram template, you can get these from Canva. Anyone who has any questions, you can always email me after and I'll show you exactly how to get something done. But I often really love to show people what the journey looks like, because 3, 6, and 12-month programs are journeys. Just like think about it like if I signed up to a gym. Okay. So, I would start, for example, my new program. And in the beginning, I feel amazing. And then halfway through, it gets harder and my muscles are going to hurt. And I'm going to feel like I can't move. And then I'm going to talk myself out of coming. And then I'm going to potentially even hurt myself. And then I'm not going to want to come. You know what I'm saying? It's really important that we actually show clients what the journey looks like. So we'll, for example, let's say it's acne treatment, for instance. We'll say right away from the first treatments, you're going to see an improvement in skin texture, hydration, balance, etc., right? But at the same time, a little bit later on, now I'm not sure, right, if this is the case, but depending on the types of treatments you're doing, it might possibly bring up more, acne. So you're going to see a dip in what you feel might be this or that. And then boom, it's going to come right up again. This is the time where you need to make sure that you don't drop off. You come in for high frequency, you come in for whatever wand you're going to, handpiece that you're going to recommend to them, so that they ultimately see the journey to success. If people see this ahead of time when they first sign up with you and you send them a welcome package to their journey of 3, 6, and 12 months, which is like a $5,000 package, for example, yeah, you need to give them a welcome package. You need to show them what their journey looks like and set them up for psychological success so that they don't drop off and not come pretty much when they're supposed to, so that we manage expectations. And in customer service, I always say it's not that we don't have problems, we have mismanaged expectations. And the better that we can manage our clients' expectations up front, the fewer problems we have and the greater the success as we keep moving through. And that commitment that your client is making, they're making a commitment 3, 6, and 12 months, determines customer loyalty. So please reward it by offering either that savings that we were talking about. So on a package, you might save versus whatever, but a program, you could even do something a little different where you can say, here, you know what, we'll do the face, but if you get the 3 or 6 month package or the 6-month package, you can have the hands for free. So we do all of the anti-aging hand treatments while you're actually in the treatment, or some sort of product, or here, especially for those of you who have your own name brand cosmetics that you're selling or skin treatment products, it makes it easier because you have a higher margin. So you can say these 3 things are included. Here's your skincare starter kit with your 3, 6, or 12-month package program. Okay, so it's really important to think about how you're going to reward that 3, 6, and 12-month loyalty process. And increasing revenue. So again, SharpLight constantly in these technical webinars is giving us so many ideas of how you can do RF, you can purchase different hand pieces, you can show people instant results that make them think, wow, like even in my skin analysis, I can start to see some changes. Imagine what happens after 3, 6, and 12 months. And I want you to know today's busy clients do not want one-by-one treatments where they have to make a decision. They want to know that their skin is being systemized, that in 6 months, they're going to look back and they look younger than they did today. We always used to say in the skincare clinic, give us a year, commit to us for a year. You will look 5 to 10 years younger when we're done. Do everything we say, and you'll see that things are starting to change for you on a really quick basis. Ask for commitment. And flourishing your business, right, according to the Oxford Dictionary, is all about growing and developing in a healthy and vigorous way, especially at the result of a favorable environment. Leaders, SharpLight is creating a favorable environment for you. Between now and December, and I know into January and February, we're going to be looking at creating more of these partner-facing webinars. This is your favorable environment. My request from you, my invitation from you is if you want to double your revenue by 2026, and if you want to see that increase even by December, that you attend all the webinars that are upcoming, both with your technical team as well as myself, Tanya Chernova. I promise I will bring you the most leading edge things, both from a mindset and a skill set perspective, so that you have the fortitude, so that you can come to the well and be served, because this is a partnership and we want to offer you as much support as possible so that you can achieve the industry results that we have seen already. So step 3 is commit to succeed. Commitment is what transforms a promise into reality. And for all of you who know your mission statement, and your mission statement is to help people look and feel younger longer, the only way you're going to get that from people is if they commit to you. So give them a program and a process that they can commit to, rather than constantly thinking by selling one by one and booking, clients in here and there. And now I want to introduce my own word to you, neo-client genesis. I know that when you come to these seminars that we're doing on a monthly basis and sometimes every 2 weeks, we promise you that if you try even one of the things that I had offered you, if you change the mindset of yourself and clean the lint trap of your technicians and really get into a place where you're deleting and replacing, if you commit to doing things, not packages, but programs, and sit down and really reinvent the way that you're offering 3, 6, and 12-month offers, you will have neo-client genesis. You will get more clients, you will increase sales, and you will grow your business. And I want to remind you from the bottom of my heart, you know this too. The only limits that exist are the ones in our own mind. We never let our environment dictate our results. We are powerful co-creators in our life. And we have to start with that elevated vision, the elevated mindset, and the elevated capacity to receive, so that we can truly benefit from all the blessings that life has in store for us. I want to thank you so very much. That's our hour. So I'm going to give you an opportunity. We have a little bit of time left over for questions. If you have any questions at all, I'm happy to answer what I can. Perfect. Or you can type in maybe something that you really enjoyed. So I see from Elena Z, so you're amazing. Package versus program. Brilliant. I'll use it. Exactly. Thank you so much, you brilliant human. Anyone else? Does anyone have any questions for me or any comments about some of the things that you saw or heard that you love? Monica, what about you? What are some of the things that you saw that you thought were really useful? I think you're on mute, actually. Oh, you can't unmute. I'm so sorry. Okay, guys. Well, listen, I'm going to just say this is that if I don't see questions, I know usually it takes time to think about the most important things that you have to ask. It's possible I answered all of your questions all the way through. But I'm just really thankful that we're here in this amazing forum, sharing this incredible information, and to remind you, it is the absolute best time to be in our industry today. Thank you so much for coming today. We're so grateful to have your partnership, and we look so forward to seeing you again soon. Oh, hang on. Heather Miller, new to the business. Any tips on getting the name out there? Yes, Heather, I'm going to tell you exactly what the best way to do this is. Make sure that you're always carrying cards with you. So I wrapped up the webinar. I'm really, really grateful, okay, that you're asking this question. Most people think Instagram, social media, and everything else. People buy because there's 4 stages to buying. They know you, they like you, they trust you, they buy from you. That's the way it works. Okay. So it's really important that you consider that when you're out with people, that you actually have the courage and fortitude to let them know, right? To say, oh, like, what do you think about your skin? Or when you're speaking to them, you ask them, I have a vision for your skin. Your skin looks great. Like, always give people a sincere compliment, and then say, do you have any, like, I'm actually a skin specialist. I have a new business. It's called this and that. And if you have any questions, I'd love for you to ask me. They will invariably have questions about their skin. And that's when you answer something and then give them an immediate invitation, and make sure you have your card with you to say, I'd love to see you. I have amazing programs at my clinic. And why don't you come in for a free skincare consultation? And while you're there, I'm going to show you how some of the technology works. Most people are really relying on social media and word of mouth. The first word of mouth has to be the one that comes out of your own mouth. If you don't have the courage to introduce yourself and to tell people that you have a vision for them in terms of how their skin could look better because of the things that you do, like, you know, in a way that's obviously kind and gentle and loving, right? But just saying like, you have such great skin, or I love your lashes. People spend thousands of dollars a year on lashes and nothing on their skin because they don't understand what to use, right? Some, you know, your lashes are so beautiful. I'd love to invite you to my clinic for a free skin consultation. We have this incredible new technology that does this, this, and this. My name is, and here's my card. Please come and visit me. And say to them, please come and visit me. Because if you give people an invitation, they will come to your house. If you don't give them an invitation, they'll just say, nice to know, good to know. If you finish a conversation and they say, oh, thanks so much, I'll keep that in mind, or good to know, that's your sign you have not given them an invitation to come. Because usually what they say is, thank you so much. I'll really, you know, I'll have to come, right? That's the way it works. So Heather, I hope, and now that you're passionate, you're in the honeymoon phase of your business. It's perfect. Awesome. Anybody else?
Tanya, we did have one come through the question and answer box as you were speaking. Joanne asks, can you help develop programs?
Can I personally help develop programs?
Perhaps, or maybe give some insight on how they can
Yes, absolutely. Listen, we all know the stages of the skin, right? So when we're, and I would highly recommend that you reach out to your, you know, friendly neighborhood sharp light technician that's in the neighborhood that helps you understand your wands individually so that we know what you're actually working with. But I love that carbon facial that actually, you know, you put the carbon all over and then you put the machine and the wand on it, and it just literally exfoliates the dead skin cells. And you can see as it starts to remove the carbon, it removes the dead cells along with it. And I love showing the clients the mirror as I'm doing it, because I'm like, look and see, look at the difference. Like, look at that already, how it's just with the laser, it's doing that. Like, it's incredible, you know, like get them super excited about it. But, you know, exfoliation depends on the outcome. Like your program is basically outcome based. So this is what I'm thinking. Number one, think about your top 3 types of clients that you're attracting to your business. If one is anti-aging, the other one might be, you know, acne, and another one might be laser hair removal, for example, right? Think about a program that would really work. And it doesn't just have to be technology based. It can take any service that you have, right? That's in the business that you have, and create like a holistic hybrid program so that it's completely unique to you. That's what I would say, right? And think and just respect the way that the skin, you know, renews itself. So we start with exfoliation, then we start with, you know, something deeper, depending on whether you want to do pigmentation or something else. But like, just think about that type of idea where you basically have, if it's a 3-month program, for instance, I would do a variety of 4 different types of applications. And it's also about the frequency. It could be that my skin, if I'm tanned, for example, I'm not ready to have one thing done, but I'm ready to have a different thing done. So do the thing that you can do, start where you can, and move to where it's more convenient as the skin continues to evolve. But I will say, though, that I'll be working with Sharplight to create more of these program ideas now that we're all in this amazing conversation. So more ideas will start coming your way from the Sharplight themselves. Anyone else? Monica, what do you think? You listen to seminars all the time. What were some of the things you took away? Oh my gosh, she's muted, but she's going to write me. I'm so sorry. If you text it, I'll just read it. Love the idea of developing programs. Honestly, that is the future. I'm letting you know right now, like this is it. The other thing I want to actually tell you is I was just at a leading conference for plastic surgeons. And then last year I was at one in Florida. And what people are really talking about right now, the doctors are saying something that my mother used to say for years. She would always tell clients, oh, you're thinking of a facelift? You're going to save up your money and not spend anything on your face right now? I'm going to tell you, you cannot make a good dress from bad material. Your skin will continue to stretch. And that's what a lot of doctors are saying, is that clients and patients who are getting facelifts within a year, if their skin texture has not been well treated prior, are going to experience a lot of sagging and a lot of disappointment. So what's important is that it's key for us to work on texture enhancement. Not enough time and thought is putting into and actually improving the texture of your skin and putting it to the highest level of anti-aging, because your skin ages slower from a high level than it does from a low level, just like your body, right? And so with our stacked treatments, packages can become programs since the skin changes. Exactly. So just take the packages that are stacked currently and make them programs. And even just using the verbiage programs makes it a lot more goal-oriented. I hope that was helpful. Awesome. Fantastic. If there's not any more questions, I know we're at time, so I want to be respectful of your time and just make sure that we wrap up, but continue to either write me personally or write Sharplight. We are your partners. We want to see you at the next webinars. Come and get nourished. The more nourished and the clearer your mind is when it comes to approaching your business, the faster that money is going to come to you. Thank you so much, everybody. It was such a great pleasure.